Good day, everyone. My name is Precious May Obra. So now, let's continue to the nanotechnology and the situation of developing countries. So for the developing countries, there are top 10 nanotechnology applications. The first one is energy. Energy. It refers to the application of nanomaterials and nanoscale system to produce, store, and utilize energy more efficiently, sustainability, and at lower cost. And producing energy. Isang halimbawa is yung sa solar panels. Normally, they only absorb part of the sunlight, but with nanotechnology, especially nanoparticles can be added, the solar panels absorb more light and make more electricity. In energy means making smarter solar panels, better batteries, cleaner fuels, and energy-saving materials. This helps us move toward a future where power is clean, affordable, and accessible to everyone. Agriculture. Nanotechnology in agriculture means applying very tiny particles called nanoparticles to make farming more efficient and sustainable. For example, nanofertilizers release nutrients slowly to plants. Nanopesticides target pests without harming the environment. Nanosensors detect soil, moisture, disease, or nutrient level quickly. And the food packaging keep harvested crop fresh for longer by preventing bacterial growth. This technology helps farmers produce more food with fewer resources, reduces chemical waste, and promote environmentally friendly farming. Water treatment. Water treatment in terms of nanotechnology is the use of nanomaterials and nanoscale processes to purify, filter, and disinfect water by removing contaminants. Karaniwan kasi, 'di ba, para siguradong malinis yung tubig, ginagamitan natin ng filters, chemicals, or biological processes to make water safe. But these methods sometimes fail to completely remove very tiny pollutants. So with the nanotechnology solves this problem because it works at nanometer scale, which is small enough to interact with pollutants at the molecular or even atomic level. This means nanotechnology can provide cleaner, safer drinking water at lower cost and with less energy, which is very important for developing countries and areas lacking clean water supply. Number 4, disease diagnosis and screening. It is the use of nanoscale materials and devices, such as nanoparticles and nanobiosensors to detect and monitor disease at an early stage. So with nanotechnology, it improves medical diagnosis by making it possible to detect very small amount of disease indicators for early intervention and better treatment outcomes. It also makes screening more efficient, affordable, and portable, which is especially useful in hospitals, clinics, and remote areas. Number 5 is drug delivery system. Dito sa drug delivery system is meron lang siyang specific target or may particular area na gagamutin kung ano lang yung need ng katawan mo. Yung traditional way kasi na pagde-deliver ng gamot is kumakalat sa buong katawan natin. Kaya minsan nababawasan ang bisa at nagdudulot ng side effects. So with the use of nanotechnology, it improves this by designing nano-sized carriers that can target specific sites. Halimbawa, kung ano lang yung sakit is tuberculosis lang. Yan. Using surface modification that can recognize disease cells. And also, it can reduce side effects because the drug is delivered only where it is needed. Number 6 is food processing and storage. It refers to the application of nanomaterials and nanosensors to improve the safety, quality, shelf life, and nutritional value of food products. So, dahil dito, mas tumatagal yung pagkain ng hindi madaling masira, mas ligtas ang pagkain laban sa bakterya at contamination, at higit sa lahat, mas nagiging masustansya ang pagkain dahil napapanatili yung quality ng pagkain. In short, nanotechnology in food processing and storage is not just about keeping food fresh, ensuring safety, enhancing nutrition, and reducing food waste, but also about a big help, especially in developing countries where food security is a major challenge. Number 7, air pollution remediation. It refers to the use of nanomaterials and nanoscale processes to detect, capture, break down, or neutralize harmful pollutants in the air. So, in nanotechnology helps fight air pollution because nanomaterials have a very large surface area and high reactivity compared to their size. This makes them more effective in capturing or destroying toxic particles and gases. Some ways it works are nanocatalysts, nanofilters, photocatalysis, and the nanosensors. Dito sa nanosensors, isa sa remedy ng air pollution. Isa siyang maliit na sensor na nakakadetect ng air pollutants at a very low concentration, allowing for real-time monitoring and quick responses to pollution spikes. In short, nanotechnology provides advanced tools to clean the air more efficiently than traditional methods, making it very useful for developing countries where air pollution is a big challenge. Number 8 is construction. Traditionally, buildings and infrastructures rely on materials like cement, steel, glass, and concrete. With nanotechnology, these materials can be engineered at the nanoscale to gain new and improved properties. For example, sa pamamagitan ng nanoparticles sa mga konkreto, mas napapatibay nito at nabibigyan ng proteksyon laban sa pagbitak or mapasukan ng tubig na maging dahilan para magkalawang yung mga bakal sa loob na maging dahilan para madaling masira yung mga pader, gusali, or kalsada. So, sa madaling salita, with nanotechnology in construction help us build smarter, safer, longer-lasting, and eco-friendly structures compared to traditional methods. Number 9, health monitoring. Dito sa health monitoring, may mga nano-devices na pwedeng ilagay inside or outside the body to monitor our health. So, yun nga, from the word itself, health monitoring means checking the condition of our body regularly. These nanosensors, kaya niyang i-detect yung kalagayan ng ating katawan, like blood sugar levels, oxygen in the blood, or even early signs of diseases such as cancer. At sabi din dito na kaya niyang ma-detect yung paparating pa lang na sakit mo, so kaya mo siyang maagapan agad. Halimbawa ng nano-devices is yung wearable nanosensors. May pagkakatulad ito sa smartwatch na kayang ma-track yung everyday health activity natin, di ba? But in this wearable nanosensors, mas advanced siya. And it can be integrated in many forms such as watch, clothing, and flexible skin patches itself to enhance its sensing capabilities. And the last number is disease vector and pest detection control. It is the application of nanoscale sensors to detect, monitor, and control harmful organisms such as mosquitoes, ticks, and crop pests that either spread diseases or cause damage to agriculture. For example, with nanotechnology can be used to create nanoparticle-based insecticides that are more effective but less harmful to the environment and humans compared to traditional chemicals. Also, nanosensors can track the presence of diseases causing pathogens inside mosquitoes, crop pests, or either breeding sites. Allowing early detection and prevention, this makes vector management more precise, sustainable, and environmentally friendly. In short, the disease vector control with nanotechnology focus only into targeting insects like mosquitoes with nanosensors and nanoinsecticides, while pest detection control with nanotech is focusing only on using nanobiosensors and nanoformulations to detect and eliminate crop pests more effectively.